Hello everyone, my name is Dhananjay Kulkarni. I'm studying at Wayne State University. I'm pursuing my Masters in Computer Science. So today in this video, I'm going to speak about processing Cassandra datasets with Hadoop streaming based approaches. This paper is published by E. Dede, B. Sandeer, P. Kozlu, J. Venktalog, M. Govindaraju and L. Ramakrishnan. So I'll talk about what are NoSQL databases. I'll talk about Cassandra. Also, I'll explain what is MapReduce, but not in detail, just an overview of MapReduce. We'll see Hadoop and Hadoop streaming framework, what is Marisa, Hadoop C, MapReduce streaming over Cassandra. We will use all the three frameworks to implement MapReduce over Cassandra. We will see the performance results of some experiments carried by the authors on Cassandra datasets using these three frameworks, and finally the conclusion. So starting with NoSQL databases, traditionally we used to store the data in relational database management systems which stored the structured data. So nowadays the data collected from social media interactions, scientific experiments and e-commerce applications are unstructured and is also in a huge amount. So to store this large data, we use the NoSQL data models. So NoSQL data stores offer not only the potential of storing large, loosely structured data, but it also offers the ability to query on this data. So we can analyze the data further, like to get the predictions on this data, as we get the predictions on Amazon, Flipkart, and etc. So Cassandra is a NoSQL database. So Cassandra is a non-relational and column-oriented distributed database. So Cassandra uses key value pair to store a record in the database. So originally Cassandra was developed by Facebook and now it is an open source project by Apache. Cassandra has a column-oriented data model. So it is independent of any additional file system like Hadoop. So Hadoop uses the HDFS, which is the Hadoop distributed file system. So Cassandra doesn't need any additional file system. Some features of Cassandra are scalability, replication, support for fault tolerance, balanced data partitioning, etc. MapReduce. MapReduce is basically developed by Hadoop, and Hadoop is written in Java, so we need Java code to write the MapReduce queries. So what MapReduce does is MapReduce splits the input datasets in parallel with a user-defined map function and a user-defined reduce function. So MapReduce abstracts away the details of input distribution, parallelization, and scheduling and fault tolerance. So in this paper, we are going to implement MapReduce using non-Java executables. So we will see some frameworks like Hadoop Streaming, Marisa, and Hadoop C to implement MapReduce on non-Java executables. We will also compare the performance of these two frameworks on the Cassandra cluster. So starting with what is Hadoop and Hadoop Streaming. So Hadoop is developed by Apache and is open source MapReduce implementation. It is written in Java, so we require Java to write the MapReduce queries. So Hadoop streaming is designed to create MapReduce jobs where any executable can be specified to be map or a reduce operation. So it is used in numerous scientific applications in various disciplines. It is written in Java and it eliminates the need of scalable MapReduce program. Next is Marisa. Marisa is a framework used to write MapReduce programs for non-Java executables. This framework is developed by the authors of this paper. So Marisa is basically MapReduce implementation for streaming science applications. So Marisa allows the use of shared disk file system. So Marisa doesn't need HDFS like Hadoop distributed file system. So Hadoop requires to store the data in the HDFS. So Marisa uses the shared disk file system to store the data. Marisa is also compatible with POSIX file system. Hadoop is not compatible with POSIX file system. And Marisa eases the support not using, so the ability to run the application not using the standard input and output. So Marisa doesn't require any standard input output functions to run the code, and it easily implements MapReduce on any non-Java executable. Next is Hadoop C. So Hadoop C is a setup where we set up a Hadoop cluster parallelly with a Cassandra cluster. So a Hadoop cluster is co-located with a Cassandra cluster. So there is no need of taking any snapshots of Redis assets and placing it into the file system for MapReduce processing. Hadoop cluster is co-located with the Cassandra cluster. So if we are using Hadoop streaming, the data is stored in the Hadoop distributed file system. So we need to first to copy the data from Cassandra cluster to HDFS and then process on the data. So Hadoop C doesn't need to do that. There is an extension of Hadoop C which is Hadoop FS, in which the Hadoop C task trackers reads the input records directly from the local Cassandra servers, but the output is collected in the shared file system as Marisa. So this shows an overview of all the three frameworks which I explained now. So here you can see Marisa uses a shared file system to store the data. Hadoop streaming uses HDFS to store the data. Hadoop C also uses HDFS, but it is co-located with the Cassandra cluster. So let's get started to the main topic of MapReduce streaming over Cassandra. So using Hadoop streaming and Marisa that offers MapReduce capabilities with non-Java executables. So basically the aim of this paper is to implement MapReduce for non-Java executables. So for this MapReduce streaming pipeline, there are three main stages. The first stage is data preparation, the next stage is data transformation, which is also called MR1. The next stage is data processing, which is also called MR2. We'll also study the performance implications of all these three stages. We will study all these three stages in details. So this is an overview of all the three stages, just a diagrammatic view. So I'll come back to this slide later after explaining all the three frameworks. So first of all, data preparation. So the database is stored in Cassandra. So first we need to get the data from Cassandra. So the input data sets are downloaded from Cassandra servers to the file systems. So Cassandra allows to export the data sets in a JSON format, so we can export the data in JSON format. So for 64 billion records, 20 GB of data is distributed through Cassandra servers with the replication factor, which is set to 1. So when we are using the Hadoop streaming framework, we place the data in Hadoop file system using the put command, and when we are using the Marisa, the worker nodes store the data in the shared file system. This step doesn't need any data processing, so this is independent of any data processing steps. Next is data transformation, which is also called MR1. So first of all, now we have exported the data from Cassandra to Hadoop file system or shared disk. So this data need to be transformed in a format which can be understood by the non-Java executable. So Cassandra allows the user to export the data in JSON format, as I already told you. So this JSON data can be transformed into other formats. So in this step we are implementing the MapReduce for the first time. So this step is also called MR1. So this step does not involve any data processing and data dependencies between the nodes. Therefore, we can use the MapReduce easily on this step. So for both Marisa and Hadoop streaming, we are using Python script to run the code and transform the data into the understandable format by the non-Java executable. The next step is data processing, which is also MR2. So this is the final step of MapReduce streaming pipelining. So as the data is now in the format that can be processed by the non-Java executable, the non-Java executable are run. So Marisa and Hadoop are used to run these executables. We will be studying the performance of both of these frameworks on the executables. So as this is the second MapReduce in the pipeline, so this step is also called MR2. Next, we are going to compare the performance of Marisa and Hadoop streaming. But before comparing the performance, we'll see MapReduce streaming pipelining with Marisa, and afterwards I'll tell you with Hadoop streaming. So in the data preparation step, using Marisa, the splitter modules connects to the local database server and reads the input datasets in JSON formats and plays it into the shared file system. So as I've told you before that Marisa uses shared file system to store the data. The splitter modules extract the data from Cassandra in the JSON format and save it in shared file system. So in the data transformation step, the Marisa mapper runs to convert the JSON file into a user specified format. So it depends on the non-Java executable program in which format to convert the data. So these converted files are again placed on the shared file system. So the next operations which are to be performed on the data are again performed using the shared file system. So for data processing step, the previously generated output which is generated by the data transformation step is used, and the operations which are the MapReduce operations are performed on this data. Now we'll see the MapReduce streaming pipeline with Hadoop streaming. So Hadoop streaming is also one of the frameworks which uses by which we can implement MapReduce on non-Java executable. So in the data preparation step using Hadoop streaming, Hadoop worker connects to the Cassandra server and exports the data in the JSON format. Same as the step in Marisa, just there the splitter extracts the data, here the Hadoop worker extracts the data. And this data is stored in the Hadoop distributed file system using the put command. Now, when we use the Marisa framework, we store the data in shared file system. For Hadoop streaming, we are using the Hadoop distributed file system to store the data. So Hadoop task trackers read the input from HDFS and feed in the executables for processing and collects the results to write back in the HDFS. In the data transformation step, Hadoop streaming uses input conversion code to transform the input to the desired format. So again, same step as in Marisa. So Hadoop converts the data in the understandable formats by the non-Java executables. In the data processing step, the previous output which is generated by the MR1 stage is used, and the other operations are carried out on the MR1 stage. Now after the data transformation step, we again write the converted format to again the HDFS file system. Okay, now we'll see what is the experimental setup for experiments and for calculating the performance of Marisa and Hadoop streaming. So the following experiment was performed on a grid and cloud computing research lab cluster at the Binghamton University. So they used 8-node Cassandra cluster which had 8 GB of RAM, 8 cores, and it was running on the 64-bit version of Linux. Apache Cassandra with version 1.1.6 installed on each Hadoop slave node, and they have used Hadoop version of 1.1.2 which was installed on each node. So now we'll see the performance of Hadoop streaming and Marisa on all the three stages. So first of all, we'll see the performance analysis for the data preparation stage. So here you can see a graph which shows the number of records on the x-axis and the processing time on the y-axis. So this is the processing time which is taken by Marisa, and this is the processing time taken by Hadoop streaming. So here you can see that uh, Hadoop streaming is much faster than Marisa. So for moving 26 million input records, it is nearly 50 times more faster than moving 4 million records. So as the number of records increases, the Hadoop streaming performance increases. So for Marisa, at the 4 million number of records, the performance is almost equal, or we can say it is just 1.1 times slower than Hadoop streaming. But as the data increases to 256 million records, Hadoop is much faster than Marisa. So the processing time taken by Marisa, here you can see, is much greater than the processing time taken by Hadoop. So I have mentioned the same thing here. At 4 million records, data preparation for Hadoop streaming is 1.1 times faster than Marisa, and it is over 1.2 times faster at 64 and 256 million records. So this is the performance analysis for data transformation, which is also called the MR1 stage. Here Marisa is almost 8 times faster than Hadoop streaming at the 4 million input records. So Hadoop, which had some startup overheads, so Hadoop is slower for small number of records, and as the number of records increases, again the performance of the Hadoop increases. So Hadoop startup costs are more visible. So on the other hand, Marisa framework is designed as a lightweight MapReduce platform where the startup overhead is minimal. For Marisa, there is not much startup overhead. So next, this graph shows the performance analysis for the read-intensive workloads over the Cassandra data. So here you can see that we are comparing data processing of Marisa, data processing of Hadoop streaming, and Hadoop C. So for read-intensive applications, after the data transformation step the input from the database is converted to the required format and is remarkably reduced in size. So as the input is reduced in size, we can say for 64 million input records, Marisa is over 100 times faster than Hadoop C, and it is like 10 times faster than Hadoop streaming. So the startup overhead costs for Marisa are less than Hadoop streaming and Hadoop C. This A shows the read-intensive applications which does not include the data preparation and MR1 steps. So here we are calculating the performance of Marisa and Hadoop streaming with C without the data preparation and MR1 stages. So as Hadoop C doesn't require data preparation and MR1, as it is co-located with the Cassandra cluster, it directly can proceed with the MR2 stage. And in this graph we can see this includes the data preparation and the MR1 stages. So here you can see the performance or the processing time of Marisa is much more higher than the processing time of Hadoop C. Next, we are comparing the performance of Marisa, Hadoop streaming, Hadoop C, and also the extended Hadoop C for write-intensive workloads. So for this graph, this does not include the data preparation step and MR1 step, as Hadoop C doesn't require these two steps, as I have mentioned earlier also. So we can see at the 4 million input records, this application is nearly 40 times and 3 times faster with Marisa and Hadoop streaming. So when we do not include the data preparation and MR1, Marisa and Hadoop streaming are much more faster than the Hadoop C and Hadoop C. Here you can see the processing time, which is more for Hadoop C. than Marisa and Hadoop streaming. In this graph, we have included the data preparation and MR1 processing timings. So for this, the processing time of Hadoop C is much more less than Marisa. So for the write intensive workloads, including the data preparation and MR1 costs, the Hadoop C is nearly 1.2 times faster at the 64 billion records and almost 1.5 times faster than Marisa. It is 3.3 times faster than Hadoop streaming. So this slide shows the performance results for running the memory intensive workloads. Here the non-Java executables which are running are memory intensive applications. So here you can see this A again, the figure A shows the memory intensive, which does not include the data preparation and the MR1 steps, and the figure B shows memory intensive including the data preparation and MR1 steps. We are comparing the performance of Marisa, Hadoop streaming and Hadoop C. So for memory intensive application, the graph shows that the Marisa is over 5 times faster than Hadoop streaming and is about for the 4 million records. And as the data size increases, as I've already mentioned earlier, that the startup overheads for Hadoop streaming is much more than Marisa. So as the input size increases, the number of records increases, the performance of Hadoop streaming also increases. So for 256 million records, Marisa is about 8 times faster than Hadoop C. And with the increasing data sizes, Hadoop streaming on the other hand is like 1.5 times faster and 4 million records, and 5 times faster than Hadoop C and for 256 million records. This was for the memory intensive without the data preparation and MR1 stage. Now for the memory intensive applications including the data preparation and MR1 stages, you can see the Hadoop C is much more faster than both Marisa and Hadoop streaming. As the Hadoop C doesn't include data preparation and MR1, so it takes equal amount of time for both these graphs, but for Marisa and Hadoop streaming, the overheads of data preparation and MR1 are much more than Hadoop C. So it takes much time than Hadoop C to process. So in this slide, we can see the comparison of Hadoop C, extended Hadoop C, and Hadoop streaming for different cluster sizes of Cassandra. Now, till now we have just increased the number of records in the database. Now we are increasing the cluster size. So after upgrading the cluster size, you can see the performance of Hadoop streaming is way better than Hadoop C and extended Hadoop C. So for Hadoop streaming, it performs 35 times faster than Hadoop C and 16 times faster than Hadoop C, extended C, for two nodes. So as the number of nodes goes on increasing, the time taken by Hadoop streaming is lesser and lesser. So as I've mentioned, the startup overheads for Hadoop streaming are much more than Hadoop C, Hadoop extended C, and Marisa. So for 8 cluster here, you can see it is minimum, and still Hadoop C and the Hadoop C FS takes more time than Hadoop streaming. This was not including the data preparation and the MR1 stages. This graph is including the processing time of data preparation and the MR1 stages also. So here you can see the time taken by Hadoop streaming is also more, as it also includes the data preparation and MR1 stages. So for the two node cluster, it is 10 times faster, and it is 15 times faster than Hadoop C extended C, which includes the data transformation steps also. So these are the results for read intensive applications. This figure is not including the data preparation and environment cost. This figure is including the data preparation and environment cost for non-Java executables over Cassandra clusters. Now again we are comparing the performance for size of 2 cluster size of 2, 4, 6 and 8. So the processing time we can see for data processing for Hadoop streaming is much less than Hadoop C. So Hadoop streaming is 18 times faster for read intensive applications than Hadoop C for 2 nodes. For 8 nodes, it is more faster. If you compare the performance of Hadoop streaming for a 2 cluster node and for a 8 cluster node, the performance of Hadoop streaming goes on increasing. So it takes less processing time to process on 8 node cluster than the 2 node cluster. So as Hadoop C has a less overhead, Hadoop C has less overhead than Hadoop streaming. It takes more time. So for read intensive applications, including the data preparation and environment costs for Hadoop streaming, the time taken is more. So for just the data processing step, Hadoop streaming takes less time, but when we run the whole application with all the 3 stages, that is data preparation step and environment stage, the performance of Hadoop streaming is not that good than Hadoop C. Here you can see the processing time taken by Hadoop C is much less than Hadoop streaming. For 2 node cluster, but if we compare the performance of Hadoop streaming for 8 node cluster and Hadoop streaming for 2 node cluster, the performance of Hadoop streaming goes on increasing. So the processing time gets lesser and lesser as we increase the number of nodes here. So this is a summary of the experiments, the results we just saw in the graphical format. So the data processing for read intensive applications with Marisa is nearly 1.5 times faster than Hadoop streaming, and up to 256 million records. So when only the data processing stage is considered, Marisa and Hadoop streaming are over 10 times faster than Hadoop C, where under the read intensive workloads. However, when the cost of initial steps are added, Hadoop C doesn't have the 2 steps, which is the data preparation step, and the environment steps, which is the data transformation step. It is 3 times faster than Marisa and Hadoop. So under the write intensive workloads, Marisa has an advantage over Hadoop streaming, as Hadoop streaming uses the HDFS file system. It has to struggle under heavy it struggles under heavy write loads. So I conclude this talk with in order to fully exploit big data sets, we need a software pipeline that can effectively combine the use of data stores such as Cassandra with scalable distributed programming models such as MapReduce. So in this paper they have shown 2 different approaches, one working with the distributed Cassandra cluster directly to perform MapReduce operations, and the other exporting the dataset from the data server to the file systems, respective file systems, HDFS for Hadoop streaming and shared file system for Marisa for further processing. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can post it in the comments. Thank you.